How could I compete with all these people that have ThinkPads? I just want a ThinkPad. I want my own Linux machine. Huh? What's that? 2012 MacBook Pro. This bad boy has an Intel Core i5-3210M with 2 cores, 4 threads, 2.5 GHz base with a turbo boost of 3.1 GHz. It even came with an already upgraded 480GB SSD. Base, this features 8GB of RAM and the ports. Look at these ports. You don't get these on modern Macs. Oh, but we will not be using macOS on this bad baby. We're going straight to Linux. We'll be upgrading this puppy with 16GB of RAM, cleaning it out and even repasting the CPU because, oh baby, this gets hot. We'll obviously be installing Linux on it to make it nice and speedy and modern.
So the condition of this is not great. I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see on camera, but it is quite scuffed up. I mean, I think on the, oh yeah, there you can see the scratches. And then the back is quite dirty and banged up as well. So this is going to need a bit of care, but obviously it's a Linux machine, so the more damage it has, the more loved it's been. So for the price I paid for this laptop, I got really lucky because it already has a 0.5 TB SSD installed. Unfortunately, the RAM we will need to be changing as it's only 8GB, and officially 8 is all that Apple supported with this laptop. But according to the internet, a lot of people have gotten 16 gigs to work, no questions asked. We'll also be repasting the processor to hopefully help with temperatures. Idle temperatures sitting at about 56 degrees isn't an emergency, but I would like to see if maybe a quick repaste could do it some good. So we're definitely going to have to clean this laptop. The fan is absolutely covered in muck. You can see this area is covered in that dust, and I don't even want to know what's inside or under this. Of course, we'll be taking it apart to properly clean it and see how it goes. We'll be repasting the processor, swapping out the RAM. The SSD we're just going to leave since it's already 0.5 TB, came like that from the shop, which is amazing. In the future, I will replace the battery, but right now, under my tests, it ran for about 2 hours, which obviously isn't great, but I don't think it's worth a £70 battery upgrade just yet. This is the bottom panel of the laptop, and I think what is in that corner is possibly mold, which is not a good sign, and I don't even want to think about how badly this laptop was treated in its past life, but we will give it a new life. The fan as well, you can see that it's covered in muck and dust, and even this corner here as well. So I believe the tutorial online said to just push on these 2 side levers, and bosh, there we got the RAM. It's not much, it's an 8GB of RAM in total, that's 4GB in each stick, and by today's standards, not very useful, so we'll be upgrading that to a lovely 16GB. Next, I'll just disconnect the battery as well, because I should have done that at the start, which is just this one cable here. But as you have noticed by my channel so far, I don't like to follow instructions. I love making mistakes, so please do remove your battery before touching your internal computer parts next time. So I've only gone and done it and forgot to read the instructions again. Turns out I need Torx screws, and I don't have that bit for my screwdriver, so I've quickly ordered that. For you, it'll just be a few second transition. For me, it will be a good few hour wait. So now I'll do my best to try and remove all that gunk, or possibly even mold. I think that's mold. I'm honestly not sure, but it's disgusting. So I'm going to try and clean this entire plate with disinfectants, and I'll see you then. I'm making a solid dent into it. I mean, all of that around here is gone. It's stuck in the little vent, and I'm trying to get that off as well. I mean, I'll keep carrying on brushing against it to see if it comes off, but it's one tough stain. All right, I think I got rid of as much as I can right now. I mean, if anyone's got any suggestions for how to get rid of even those little specks still left, I mean, I've used disinfectant wipe. I used tweezers to go at it. I mean, when I was using the tweezers, and I was scraping here, I mean, it was like rocks coming out. So I'm not sure now if it's mold or some kind of water damage from the past. I really don't know at this point. But that means we can get to cleaning the rest of this panel now, rather than just focusing on this little corner. And after what is in real life 20 minutes, the panel was clean. we can move on to the rest. And this wouldn't be a Mac video if we didn't use the Mac certified cleaning cloth. What was a quick jump cut for you? It's been a few hour wait for me to get my hands on the screwdriver to get these Torx screws out so we can finally get that CPU repasted. I only I read one tutorial online and I'm hoping that that's enough for me to know exactly what to do here. So if something goes wrong, we'll just pretend it never happened. So I know that the first step is to get the fan off, and it's 3 screws, this one here, that one there, and the one there. And I'm just removing that one cable. This should now theoretically just come out. Oh, amazing. And here's our fan. And to be fair, without even having to take it out, we cleaned it quite well with just the pressure there and the brush. So I'm quite happy with that. So I know that we need to get these 3 disconnected, including that one, this one here, and the battery. And I believe there's one more hidden one under here, but we'll find out. Oh, and there's the one here, which we need to be careful with because it's a ribbon cable and they're quite sensitive. And with a partial heart attack, I think I've managed to take all of them out without causing any damage. I had to pull on this one down here a little bit, which is a ribbon cable. I'm not sure how well you can see it in this. It is so thin, but I am hoping it's still working. I did pull on it and it felt like I snagged it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. So now we need our Phillips screw, I believe, to get, 8 screws out from here. I lied, they're T6 Torx screws. All right, that should be all the screws now. So unless I've made a mistake, this should now come out. I need to pick it up and kind of shimmy it out because all of these ports are inside. And I believe this will be dangling out and then the microphone piece will be on a cable. So I need to be careful of that. I am shaking. I do not want to break anything. I am quite heavy-handed. So I am doing my best not to break anything here. And I am stressing like crazy right now because this is not budging. Okay, that's out. Starting to move more and more. Something's still stuck. Okay, I think I might have forgot to remove something. Let me go check the tutorial. Yep, so there are these 2 little screws back here that I forgot to remove. And these are Phillips. And there it is. And this wouldn't be a video made by me if I didn't make at least one mistake. And there we have it. It's out. And I'm still shaking. And in terms of dust, I mean, it's actually not too bad. I think that is a reasonably well kept machine. Whoever had this before definitely didn't have it around in really dusty areas. I mean, you can see some surface level dust on the ports and that's about it. So next up is removing these 3 screws, getting rid of the old thermal paste and putting on the new layer. So yeah, I mean, to me, that is not enough thermal paste on there. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up and pop a new layer on. Also clean out any leftover dust inside the radiator and all over on here. And we'll get this thing back together and get Linux installed. That was some thick thermal paste. It was dry, crusty, and hard to get off. So I imagine that was the original thermal paste that came with this laptop, which is not great, but it does explain why it was thermal throttling so much. Got my thermal paste ready. I'm just gonna leave a dot on there and hope for the best. And I want you guys to roast me for my application because I've always been horrific at this. In my opinion, there can never be too much thermal paste. And let's get that heatsink back on there. That's a repasted CPU and hopefully all the ribbon cables work so we can get this booted up and see if it made a difference. The install was easy because all you needed is a USB stick, plug it in, hold down the power button while holding Option/Alt and select an EFI boot. Very often when people install Linux on Macs, the Wi-Fi drivers don't work, but luckily I found a workaround by using an Ethernet cable because these bad boys have ports. Right, now we can remove our USB stick and let's get into Endeavour OS.
Now, there's just one thing I've hidden so far, and that's the temperatures before and after we repasted the CPU. And I'm happy to report that there has been a significant improvement. This laptop went from 90 degrees under a stress test to just 77. That's a 16% improvement by just cleaning that CPU. I think we can call this a success already. In terms of RAM, I mean, the system just felt snappy compared to how it was before. And of course, I had to use some movie magic. I had Linux already installed on the laptop to see how slow it was before all our improvements. Don't kill me in the comments. But now we have Endeavour OS, and oh boy, did I want to customize it. So we went with Neri, I installed Brave Encodium, Kitty as my terminal, and obviously the theme being Cat Pujin. And can it game, you ask? Of course! It can't, but this isn't a gaming machine by any standard. It's more of just a work laptop. But what matters most is that I now have my ThinkPad, or as I like to call it, the LinuxBook Pro. I think the craziest thing is that it runs quite smoothly. I mean, when you turn on the browser, it chugs. It doesn't run 4K footage, but you know, it's a 2012 MacBook Pro. What do you expect from it? But it is a good daily driver from just doing basic tasks. Browsing the web, coding a little, and I mean note-taking, watching anime, whatever you want to do with it. Just not game. And you should stay tuned for what I do next with my LinuxBook Pro.